Hello, good evening. From today, right? I've been quite busy today. So far, I have my support with me. I won't say what support I have, and I won't mention the person's name. All I can say is that since I've been with the service now, right? Yes, there's been a bit ups and downs, right? But we all go through those things with change sometimes, with ups and downs. But for me, right, because I'm autistic, you see, I'm with ADHD, which is an example, like, if someone came for the job, right, while I was talking to someone, right, I would forget what I was saying. It's not that I can help it, it's that I can't, right, it's not that I won't help it, it's that I can't help it, right, because of part around. But I learned to control, to how to actually, say it at the time, because quite recently there's been a lot of people, which I won't say, who have been expecting me to remember everything. So with my autism, right, as I said before, several days ago or so, there are things I like to do that will keep me occupied. Like music, I like to play music, like ukulele, which because I have YouTube, I have some new songs that I've been learning about, life is Inspector Gadget, and there's one called A Gift of Thistle, right? It's a theme tune from the film Braveheart, with that, the very good actor Mel Gibson, right, who played William Wallace in the film, and which I've seen many times, and it tells a story, a true story behind what happened, over many moons ago, nearly 1,000 years ago. I won't put that far, but it's not, yeah. I came up with a year because I'm not that up to history at the moment, but I can learn things. Being autistic, I'm quite clever to learn something. Right, I pick up things like music. Right, it does take me some time to learn something, but I get it in the end. So since April last year, I've been learning to play music ukulele. Well, I suppose that, we all like to play music instrument, right? As you know, there's all forms of music, instruments to play. I do sorry, right? What I say, sometimes I do tend to struggle with what to say sometimes. And also, I do tend to, because what happened is when I was younger, I had to have a speech therapist, so I had to learn to speak a bit slowly and a bit more clearer and not too fast, because what is, I was born, right, in Bradford, right, which is my hometown. Despite that, I've been living in Morecambe, right, for the last 35 years. And I never forget, so, I was saying, now I forgot what I was going to say. That's an example of my autism. So, through my time, right, since I was very young, this is my sort of like how, what affected, what happened to me when I was young, when I tried and the help that I had to have. You see, when I was 7 years old, I was diagnosed with autism, right? My mum, right, thought I didn't have autism, I had to say autistic tendencies. But I'm actually autistic, right? Because otherwise I can do stuff right, like learn something, but because of my anxiety and that, right, so it's not a bad thing, right? It's just it's right for me, right? Because it's part of my condition, with being autistic with ADHD, which stands for autistic. I do know it's right, but sometimes I do tend to forget. so with that condition, right, over the years since I was 7, I went to a school I went to a school in for time until I moved to Morecambe in '87. I think I was about 5. I'm not too sure, but I know that I was diagnosed with autism from the age of 7 years old. So, what it is? First, I was a bit disruptive, and I tried and very naughty when I was younger. But we all can be very naughty, but for me, right, I had to learn about my autism, right, for last since I was at school. Because see, I went to 4 different schools in total, 2 in my hometown, and 2 in Morecambe, where I now live, right. And unfortunately, that from the age of 14 years old, I had to go to a school. I want them, but at the time, right, it made, it was my point. It was my breaking point at the time, right. My point where I needed the help. Luckily, right, thanks to my mum, right, who I thank very, very much, because without my mum's help, right, and all the meetings she had to go to, which I won't discuss anyway, right, because I went to school in North Yorkshire. I will say where it is, but I won't say what the name of it. I didn't have any problems there, right. Is that I had learned difficulties of controlling my behaviour, unfortunately. And that's one of the things that, being autistic is trying to control. And I was there for 5 years, and I'm very happy. It was the best school I know. For me, it is right because for me it is right because I was there for 5 years when I went on holidays and had I tried. But overall speaking, I had the education that I needed, because when I was at the school at my end, right, I was there for 7 years, I think it was. I didn't get the help that I wanted because there was nothing more they could teach me, to be honest. And like more safety. You see, when I was younger, I didn't have any I didn't have any aware of danger, like being on rides, and I tried, because I didn't, you see. So as I got older, I started to learn to control who I am, and ever since. So this is me talking about my autism in a way. And what I can say is, we all suffer with autism, right, on different levels. And I understand that very respectively, because I'm autistic, right, but I'm on the, what we say, the autistic spectrum, older, which is so example, when you have colours of, radios, you have a spectrum of colours. I'm on the spectrum of autism, where we call it mildly, right. There's severe, there's mildly, and there's the ones who are not so autistic enough. So for me, it's mildly, right. So but when I was at school, I had work experience, and I did a lot of wonderful things that I've always wanted to do. I went with a group, right, but when I say that went there, right, with the group, right, from school. I was at for 5 years in the north, somewhere in the northeast somewhere, right, and I was there to find out because it was part of the National Trust, and we did a lot of very helpful in that because we had to find the pipe, we call it right, and we had to do a lot of like work, and I tried to do a lot of cutting plant, just to, so they can replace the pipes with new ones. I can't what the place is called out, but I actually enjoyed it. And also that we all did like work experiences as well. Like I did horticulture for 4 years, and I tried and lots of many things. So these were the things that I was learning when I was there. I actually enjoyed it. It was hard work, but you can't, improve on that progress, like they say. Because, for example, like, when you learn, like, for me, right now, right, as we now, 2023, right, I have learned, I've learned to be playing an instrument. So, it's what I do enjoy doing, with me autism, like, it's something that keeps me occupied, it keeps me busy, it keeps my mind focused, it motivates me, I feel confidence while I learn, and that's about it really. It's like everything else really. Like, I like to sketch. I'm not the best, I'm not the best, I can draw, right, but I can't, like, I don't have what we call an imagination, or like, because you see, over the years, right, there's been many artists, right, who draw from, like an easel, right, which I've seen on TV. I can't do that, right, because I don't have that imagination, or have that vision, how to draw things by looking at things, and I tried. I can draw cartoons, sort of, but I do things, right, because I see, like, sketching is a hobby to me, right, but it's one thing I enjoy doing, being autistic. And I see a picture and I try which I want to draw, and I'll draw it. And I don't do it do it seriously. I just do it because I enjoy doing it. It's like anything else, like with music. But with music is important because I've been learning, right, for just nearly a year since I had a break after, sort of like later that year, last year when I was doing, because, like, example, like my garden, which I had, I had to, get rid of my old shed I used to have, and do, I had to have help from my support at the time by another service I was with, which I won't say, right, for personal reasons. I didn't have any problem with the service, right? It's just that I had situations, but I don't want to dwell into that because I just don't. Well, I was just saying, look, and I try to move on and that. But the thing is, for me, right, I had to learn on from myself, right? So when I was so that's what I do. So for the last 25 years or so, I had to learn to become independent with support. My support didn't really do anything for me, but to do things with me. Like today, right now, right, I'm waiting to finish off my wardrobe. Right, I'll show you what I've done so far, right, and so here, right, that's part of the wardrobe that I'm making, right. Sorry about this, right, but these are the planks of wood that I'm going to plan to make, right, into boxes, right. So, but this is the compartment, for the drawer that I'm, where you can start put, like, and then the other part, so I've done that part, and the other part is where I'm going to put like a cabinet, like a shelf type thing, but also, like, in the hallway, I have, in the front room, which I have a shelf, right, And at the moment, I'm in the process of painting them. It's like I'm painting what you call a primer, right? So I'm using a colour called Brilliant White. It's a primer or undercoat. Depends on how you prefer it, really. Undercoat or primer, both the same thing, but and after that, right, I am gonna colour them like the inside of the wardrobe is gonna be all purple. That includes the drawers and the shelf. On the outside of it, when all right, it's gonna be all it's called midnight blue. And instead of having a door, I'm gonna put rails on it instead. Like with top and bottom, like a rail, so you can slide in and close it, and then having a door, because dogs take too much strength to open the door. So I have one that we can slide instead of having to open, with a door handle. So there are many things that I do and enjoy doing, actually. Coming this summertime, I'm gonna finish off doing the garden and do some more work outside as well, and see how things go from there. So anyway, going back to what I was saying about my autism, right? It's that we all have to control our autism, right, in the way we can best do ourselves, which I had to do for myself, right? Because you see, I've been living by myself, right, for the last 18 years. 17, 18 years, but I say 18 years because I think it's about that sort of on that time. So yeah, that's right. But about 18 years I think it was by myself. So and when you live by yourself, right, it is a challenge, right? It's not like one of these it's not one of the things you do like once a day, like once and that, right? When you live by yourself, it's completely everyday, like it's all about, I know that everyone knows this, right? We all have to go through the same routine every day, and that's about it, really. But I won't say more because, for me, being autism, entirely, I do tend to, struggle, but I did have some advice and some help with that as well. If you want to know about music so far tonight, and I'm on track. I'm hoping to do some music tonight if I can. I'm on track. I'm in the process of finishing off, doing some chores. So the more tried. So hopefully, if I do get some music afterwards, I'll let you know. I'll do some music, right, and I'll do some more some more songs which I want to learn, and I'll keep you all posted. Because I'll take a picture of the chords, the song, right, and I'll put them onto, from what I learned. So I will say good night, right, and I'll see you all tomorrow, and I'll keep you posted about the songs, okay? Okay then.